Cheers, I do buckaroos. How the heck are you? I'm Tom the Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video. It took me a little longer to get set up, so I'm going to try to go fast because more ice melted than I had hoped it would. So I was trying to do a classic highball video. So I've got kind of a traditional cylindrical highball glass, or a tall highball glass, I should say. So I've got 2 ounces, or double here, of the Maker's Mark. Cask strength at 110. Not the 101, but the 110. So anyway, sláinte. So what's the mixture, you might ask? I'm using some Pellegrino sparkling mineral water. Back in the day, my highball of choice was bourbon and soda, or club soda. But mineral water works. Now, if I had a a lime wedge or something, I'd probably use it for a garnish, but I do not. So you work with what you got. But it is a hot day here in the Ozarks. It's a little warm in my bar area here because I am in the garage. I thought about going out to the back, but I didn't. It's just hard to move. Everything is here in this area. To truck everything out back is a bit of a hassle. It just takes so long. But it is a little warmer right here. If I were to go outside, there wouldn't be quite as bad. You can hear the music. It's a local band called Jalopy. This particular song is called Meanwhile. A little bit of jazz. I don't know how they define themselves. They list a lot of varied influences, one of them being Steely Dan. Steely Dan. But I can definitely hear a Jeff Skunk, put a finer point on it, I can definitely hear a Jeff Skunk Baxter influence. Put a little finer point than just to just say, what am I got there? Something's, you can tell what was, oh, there we go. The shot glass. I got the shot glass. I was like, what is that great thing right there? Now, I asked him about this song called Virginia. And I said, I definitely hear some jazz elements here, but I definitely hear a little bit of a country feel to it. And he said, well, it was actually written as a country song for another project he was in. It's like Brandon Moore. And they kind of, redid it a little bit for the Jalopy sound. I felt like I was hearing a little bit of Exile in there. Really like this band. The more I listen to them, I gotta tell you, the more I like them. Jalopy. They are on Spotify and other various social media platforms. So please look them up. Unfortunately, bands do not make a lot of money from streaming services. But it's kind of become a necessary evil, right? There's a lot of bands, for one reason or another, that has nothing to do with talent, will never get commercial radio airplay. It's just the way the system is designed. And you're not going to give me this, well, it's talent, Tom, because I know it's not. Because we hear a lot of untalented folks on the radio, man. And in all honesty, the best musicians out there are the folks that you're never going to hear on your radio. And that's not my opinion, man. That's just the truth. So that is that necessary evil that is the streaming platforms. So they don't get paid a lot of money. That's true. But I think a benefit that often gets overlooked is visibility. You can find a lot of these acts. You have everybody with Spotify or whatever streaming service you have availability to acts that you don't know you have availability to. You're listening to the same old crap that's on your radio, but if you just had a little bit of insight, you can find other acts. I seek these bands out. whether local or not. I mean, I'm looking for stuff that is never going to get on my radio, and I found a lot over the few years that I've had Spotify. There's a lot of bands that I've become familiar through Spotify. Red City Radio for one, Lucero, Jalopy here I'm listening to. There's just great music out there that you're not finding, but you do have access to on whatever streaming platform you have. So I mean, I implore folks to just get out there and find the music. But that is the necessary evil that, you know, it is the visibility that folks are me. I found music that I wouldn't have found had it not been for a streaming platform. Now, have I gone out and bought every CD? Well, no, I haven't. But I do buy a lot of the hard copies because, in fact, the truth is I don't need them because I'm listening to the music on Spotify. But especially local acts, I do try to buy the hard copies anyway because I know it helps them if I buy the hard copies. But I like to think because I've listened to a band and I've told folks about the band, you know, maybe at least one of those several folks that I've told about the band, you know, has found that band. So I hope it works as kind of a snowball that we're able to find music that way. The classic Highball. The classic Highball, man. And some tunes. I got my own little bar thing going on here. Without listening to Two Drunks in the Corner. Cheese biscuits and gravy. I am. Who are you, man? I am Tom. I am Tom. I'm Tom the Whiskey fan, just beloved whiskey drinker. For very wisdom all around, good guys. Launch you. The thing is, I typically make a short highball because I don't like as much mixer. But I had this glass here, so let's use it. So anyway, one more time, Sláinte. I'm gonna go through my spiel one more time for you. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, for realism, and all around good guy, Sláinte.